sorted in your bike pumps.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Hello and welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Melissa Maloney. We have 4 amazing guests with us today, sharing some amazing things happening in London in the next few weeks. And I'm really excited to be able to chat with each of them today. As Londoners, we are very lucky to have access to the many amazing shows that the Grand Theatre treats us to each year. Today, though, we're going to be speaking about something else, their professional development series called Artists in the Auburn. And to tell us more about this is the artistic director of the Grand Theatre, Rachel Peake. Welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you so much for having me here.
First time here, very
exciting.
exciting.
It is my first time, yeah.
Hopefully we'll have lots more.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about the series and what sort of inspired this?
Sure. So the series is called Artists in the Auburn. And you know, when I first started as the artistic director, which was actually 1 year ago now, one of the things that I was asked was, what am I going to do about or with the relationship between the community theater community and the professional community that works at the Grand? And I thought it was a really good question, because inherently those things are slightly different, but of course they're also married together. And then as I started working, I started learning about the independent theater community here, and I really learned that there is a spectrum of people that engage with, you know, performing or being part of practicing the theater arts. So Artists in the Auburn is really designed to bridge that, to invite people at all levels, whether you're just curious about taking part in theater in some way, right up to professionals. And so it has 3 different parts to it, and all of those are designed to create this connection between the Grand Theatre and the community.
I love that. So what are some of the sessions going to be about?
So we're calling them sort of the 3 pillars. So the 3 pillars of it, the first one is a playwrights lab. So it's going to go on through the whole season. And it's called the Cascade Playwrights Lab. And it's going to be an opportunity for local writers, again, at every level of their craft, to meet, to get together. I will lead it. And we're going to do writing exercises together. There will be assignments between sessions. And then it's going to end with a public reading of excerpts of these work in progress. So it's really an opportunity to develop both plays and playwrights. Then there's a series of practical workshops that are more designed toward performers. So there's one on auditioning, one on improv inside scripted work. There is one on playwriting, and there's another one on voice and the actor. And so they're led by professionals who live in the area. 2 of us, myself and Alexandra Kane, live here in London, and then 2 Stratford residents, Mark Crawford and Rebecca Northern.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. And then the third is the speaker series. So there's more information coming about that soon, but that lends more to the technical and business side of theater.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So if I'm somebody who's not been involved in the theater but has kind of thought about it, or maybe I used to be involved, like when I was much younger, is that like, am I welcome?
Absolutely. Like, it really is everyone, from people who do community theater all the time, to maybe you're curious or you did it as a teenager and maybe it's something you'd like to do more of, to people who are working toward making it a profession, or maybe are already making it a profession but would like to hone their craft and hone their skills
and do more.
And it's fun. Like, they're all designed to be fun. It's an opportunity to come together with like-minded people who have a similar passion and work on something, develop a skill within yourself.
I love this. And so how do people get involved? Like, what do they need to do to actually get involved?
Well, go to the Grand Theatre website, and there's more information about all of the workshops, and there'll be more information about the speaker series coming up soon. So that's really the central place. Or you can always follow us on Instagram. Every time we have something new coming up, there's posts about it there. So
that's awesome.
Lots of information to grab onto.
And so do people need to participate in all of the things, or can they just participate in one pillar or parts of a pillar?
Absolutely. You can everything is sort of a la carte.
Perfect.
So if you're only a playwright, then there's the Playwrights Lab or there's the Playwrights Workshop that you can engage with. If you're only a performer, then you can lean into those elements. If you're a theater technician, then maybe you're waiting for some information about the speaker series. We also have a focus this year, which is kind of under the Artists in the Auburn umbrella, which is really making our space available as much as possible to community groups who may want to use it for smaller productions or one-off talks or workshops of their own. So we also have a really vibrant rentals option there.
That's awesome, because it's such an incredible space. Like, to be able to take advantage of that space is amazing.
Yeah, it's really intimate and it has lots of potential. There's lots of possibilities you can do with it.
Awesome. And last thing before we wrap up, in terms of pricing, is there pricing for this, or is this, are you giving back to the community in this way?
That's a great question. It is subsidized by the Grand Theatre. So certain elements of it, like the Playwrights Lab, is free. The workshops do have a cost, but it's a sliding scale, pay what you can. So,
awesome.
And even at the highest level, there is the price point is subsidized by the grant. So it's really something that we want to sort of put ourselves behind in terms of making sure that it's accessible to everyone.
It's amazing. What an incredible opportunity for people to work with that level of talent. Really excited about this. So we will definitely make sure that everybody checks it out and comes to see, and we will have you back for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We will be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Your happy place. Easy 1013, the perfect music mix.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
My name is Ryan Dyson, and I drive the number 28 race car at Delaware Speedway and across Ontario all summer long. You can check out our YouTube vlog series right here on Rogers TV every Friday at 6 o'clock p.m.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Welcome back. On a cold winter evening in November of 2017, one of our next guests took a crock pot of chicken noodle soup behind a local shelter and served those who could not get a bed that night. Since then, 519 Pursuit have continually supported those experiencing homelessness in London. As we head into the colder months, 519 Pursuit is launching their annual sock drive. And here to tell us how we can help is Michelle Bossino, Donation and Care Package Coordinator, and Alison DeBlair, Executive Director. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Glad you're both here today.
Thank you for having us. Yes, thank you.
It's a great time of year for us to be starting this conversation. So why don't we start with what is the sock campaign?
So the 519 Pledge for Socks is an initiative that we started to help those facing homelessness in the community, but also to kind of fix a need that was out there. Socks are one of the most asked for items and least thought to be donated. Us at 519 Pursuit, we do community outreach. So we go into the community and we support people living in encampments, not accessing shelters and services. So the sock campaign was a way to support a need, but also get in those doors and learn who's behind those doors, what supportive services are there. And so the campaign is made for everybody to get involved. It's an ask to take the pledge to raise 519 pairs of brand new socks and to really engage in the conversation around the realities that is people facing homelessness and crisis every day.
Amazing, amazing. In such a simple way to get involved.
Yes.
An easy way to get involved.
Yes.
So, and I asked this because I learned this a couple years ago. Do you have preferences in terms of types of socks?
Yes. So there's many different socks that are great. Obviously, wool socks help with frostbite and keeping people warm. But the reality is that socks are usually a one-time use. Socks get wet very quickly, wet feet, wet boots, wet shoes. You don't have the opportunity to take your foot at the end of the day out of that shoe, air your feet out, or change that sock. And the dyes in colored socks, gray, black, or socks with design, they actually start to dye the skin. So white socks are great, though we would think, why would we give somebody a white sock that would get dirty? It's actually really good for the bottom layer.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. And I know I had learned about the wool socks because they do tend to pull the moisture away from the feet in a different way than cotton socks.
Yes.
So, and what's the goal this year? How many socks are we aiming for?
So the goal is over 100,000 pairs of socks. Last year, together, the community raised over 140,000 pairs of socks.
Amazing.
Which is so incredible. But we actually just delivered the last box last week. So the need is still out there. So our hope is that we can kind of stay along that 100,000, 150,000 pairs of socks so that we can get through the year and support the many shelters and services.
Okay. So obviously London is having a significant challenge right now with people experiencing homelessness, and socks seems like a small thing. But in the grand scheme of things, when we think about what 519 Pursuit is doing, what message would you give to somebody who's maybe a little bit confused by everything that's going on in the city, or getting frustrated, or feeling like they've lost their city? What message do you have for them about the amazing people that are just trying to survive what they're currently experiencing?
Well, I guess that our friends out there are, could be somebody's daughter, could be somebody's son, could be somebody's grandfather, could be somebody's child, and that, that they're people too, and they appreciate love and connection and friendship and deserve it just as much as anybody else does.
Yeah, I love that message. Yeah, we all need empathy in this. It takes a community to create change like this, and you guys are definitely leading the way. So how do people get involved? What's the best way for people to get involved so that we can keep them informed and know what's going on?
Yeah, so people can register as an individual or as a group at 519pursuit.ca/pledge.
Okay.
It's really important that you do sign up and register on our website just so we can communicate with you. It's a 6-week-long campaign, and we've actually made a campaign toolkit.
Awesome.
So when you say yes to receiving emails on our website, we're going to send you back a Google Drive and walk you through how to run a successful campaign.
Love it.
And then following November 15th, we'll host a sock drop day where we welcome everybody participating to bring their socks in one day.
Awesome.
Yes.
So 1,500 plus businesses in this city. I think there's way more than that. If everybody got 509 pairs of socks, think how many that could be. Such a simple way. So we will definitely put up onto the post with this how people can register, and we'll get everybody to register. If every company could commit to those 519, we know that you could create such huge change this year.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So good luck with your campaign.
Thank you so much.
And we'll have to have you back to update on the results.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
On the next issue of Fanatics.
Hey, you want to see a show on Rogers TV that doesn't feature any human stars? Well, you've come to the right place. Watch Crumpet Corner, this brand new show full of laughs and, weirdness, chaos.
519 Pursuit, 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 5
Welcome back. Our next guest today is the manager of Film London, a local nonprofit operated by the London Economic Development Office. Film London aims to enhance London's economy by attracting film professionals to create jobs in our city's creative industries. And we have so many amazing buildings and spaces to do that in. To tell us more about all of this, please welcome Andrew Dodd. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Melissa.
So glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Let's talk about what Film London does.
Okay, so most people ask if I can help them produce their movie, and
Yes.
I always say we're not a production company.
Yeah.
We do have one of those in London, though, but we work at it's industry attractions.
Okay.
We work at growing and attracting more film and TV productions to the city, so that London can take advantage of the strong economic impact that these productions will leave behind.
Awesome, amazing. So thinking about that, we've had a lot of shows in the last little bit that have come through.
We've seen some good growth. Yeah.
Seen some good growth.
Yeah.
So maybe could you share some of the cool stuff that's gone on in the last little bit?
Sure. Well, a win can look like a couple of different things. So, for example, we really aim towards these sort of low to mid-level budget feature films or movies, MOWs or movies of the week, we call them.
Yep.
You would know them as like Hallmark movies. It may not always be Hallmark.
All those
but
Christmas ones.
Christmas, romance, holiday setup things. So we like those because they're more likely to shoot the entire thing in a location when they come. So that might be 3 or 4 weeks of filming. They're more likely to use more locations while they're here, and they of course rent those locations so the property owners can benefit financially from having their space used. They're more likely to hire more local crew while they're here. So that's job creation for local Londoners who are in the industry or are emerging filmmakers.
Yep.
So we really like having them. We've had a handful of them over the last 3 years come. We just had one in late August from a Hamilton-based company called Vortex. I think it was around 80% of their crew was hired locally, which is awesome. It's the highest I've ever seen, which is really good. We think that there's a local crew base sort of being formed, words getting out as they come. You can contact this person or this person. This person's local and they're really good, and then word spreads, and they will recruit each other as well. And so that's one type of win. Another type of win is something maybe a bit more high profile. We'd love for them to come and stay longer, but typically when they come outside of Toronto, they'll shoot for 3 or 4 days in a town, and then they'll go back to wherever their studio space is.
Yeah.
So we've had, earlier this year, we had an Amazon Prime show called Motorheads, filmed at Blackfriars Bridge for a few days.
Cool.
In the past, we had a show called The Changeling on Apple TV Plus, filmed at Richmond and Dundas. Turned Richmond and Dundas into 1980s New York City, which was really cool to see.
That's cool.
And most recently, in mid-August, the Netflix series Fubar shot 4 episodes of season 2 up at the Upper Thames Conservation Authority up the Fanshawe Lake, and actors such as Carrie-Anne Moss and Arnold Schwarzenegger were here for that. So
that one made the news for sure.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, unlikely to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger anytime again in my life, so probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned...
He says hi, by the way.
Oh, perfect. That's good. Yes, we're besties.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He missed you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad I couldn't come.
I know. You were busy that day.
So thinking about some of the spots that you just mentioned, how do you actually pick locations, or how do people get involved if they're open to being a location?
Sure. So we try our best to curate as many locations locally as we can, because you never know what they're going to need, right? So there are always requests for private homes. So we always do a public shout out to homeowners to say, if you're interested in this sort of thing, let us know. We can help you get your property listed on our locations database, which exists at filmlondon.ca.
Perfect.
A little plug. And if we can come out and help take photos or help sort of advertise the place.
Awesome.
On top of that, we just reach out to the locations that we think might be more popular or might be harder to find in and around the Toronto area. that London's open and happy to offer.
Awesome, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So we'll do the official plug. So people can get involved and can sort of know what's going on by going to filmlondon.ca.
That's the one-stop shop.
Okay.
Every seminar we run or event we host or any information, you can reach out to me directly. We encourage everyone to go to filmlondon.ca.
Awesome. And if they're a crew member or somebody sort of in that space, same spot.
Same thing. They can reach out to me directly, or they can sign up and add a listing for themselves on our crew database. And again, we use that as sort of the platform for advertising what London can offer a production.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Such cool stuff going on in London.
Melissa.
So we'll definitely have to have you back as we get more neat things coming to town.
Anytime.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Melissa.
We'll be right back.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
Hey, I'm Scott Navarro, a producer here at Rogers TV, and I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that we have that put on our shows. Whether that's hosts in front of the camera or volunteers behind the scenes, we couldn't do it without you, so I just want to say thanks.
Welcome back. London was named as one of the top 10 emerging tech markets in North America for the third year in a row. And today we have two amazing tech entrepreneurs with us who are here to share with you a great way to explore London for less. Welcome to the show, the co-founders of Dealsy, Lucas Polger and Jordan Brown. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
We're
really
glad
excited.
you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
So why don't one of you start by telling us a little bit about what Dealsy is?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Dealsy is a free app that our users are able to download on the App Store or the Android Store that allows them to see deals from our restaurant partners. So pretty much every single time that they want to go out to eat or drink, we know how expensive it is in the market right now. They're able to easily download our app before they want to go out to eat, check the deals, and then go in and ultimately save money.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Super simple.
Yeah. Super simple.
So what inspired this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that inspired this was, why do you have to be sitting down at a restaurant to know what the deals are? Why do you have to walk by an A-frame to say that's what a deal is, right? So all we're doing is taking these deals and putting them in the pockets of our users. So wherever they are, they can see these deals. So if I'm in London right now, and maybe I'm going to Toronto for the day, I can filter the Dealsy app to Toronto, and I can see before I get there, what deals are there, so now I can save money on this trip, or really wherever I am.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously community-based program, right? Like really trying to keep people local, shopping local, eating local, that side of things. So maybe talk a little bit about what the experience has been like building this in London.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from London. So when we decided to launch the platform, London seemed like a good fit. One, because I lived here, but then as we started rolling out, we found out that a lot of larger companies actually use London as a test market because it's big enough to get a good size of sample data, but it's not so big that if it does blow up, you're losing a bunch of money. So rolling out in London, we didn't really know the feedback we were going to get. But every single person that we've spoken with, whether restaurant partners, Western University, or kind of anyone that we've kind of connected with throughout this journey, has been super supportive and actually helped us kind of get to where we are today.
Amazing.
So as of right now, we have about 50 restaurants on the platform in London. just crossed over about 6,700 downloads.
It's awesome.
Working with Western through Ivy Business and kind of different campaigns that we've been putting on. But yeah, the feedback and the response has been exceptional from the London community.
That's awesome. Are there any restaurants that have been like really great early adopters and great partners for you and advocates for you as you're building out the business?
Big time, yeah, for sure. We can give a big shout out to, Pizza Quest. They've been absolutely amazing to us, believing in us from the very beginning. State and Maine has been really good to us.
Awesome.
Grill 23 has been great. It seems like the restaurant scene in the community here has been are so supportive of what we're trying to do, because ultimately we're just trying to get customers back in the door, so they can obviously do great business as they always do, create a loyal customer, and then vice versa, making sure our users are able to save money at the same time.
And is that something that we're seeing? Like, are we still seeing that people just aren't back in restaurants the way that they were before the pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing it all over. Now, we thought that during COVID, Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes became massive because people had to order this food in. And when COVID kind of ended and people were going back in, they didn't really see that come back to normal.
Yeah.
Which is really tough for these restaurants because these big companies are taking up to 30% fees on these actual food items that are going out the door. Right, so they kind of created this massive market where the restaurants were forced to use it because of COVID, but now coming out, they still have to use it because there's still revenue coming, but they're looking for additional ways to, how do we get customers back in the door? And Dealsy provides that solution.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when you think about sort of the experience, it's very different going into the restaurant versus ordering it to your door.
Yes.
And that's really, you're creating community and you're creating experience with what you're building with Dealsy.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're doing. Creating a loyal customer. People are able to go out. We had somebody reach out to us actually who was able to take her kids out to eat again because of a Kids Eat Free deal.
Oh, that's awesome.
On Dealsy, and that was so cool, right? So just those types of moments of getting people back in the door, creating a great atmosphere again has really been, the reason we get up every day. It's just been an unbelievable experience.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How do people actually get the app? So they just download Dealsy?
Yeah, so all you need to do, it's a completely free app for users. So all you need to do is just look up Dealsy on Android or iOS.
Yep.
And then basically once you see it, you're able to download it, fill in the information, and then you're able to see all the deals that are around you.
Awesome. And I get to set my preferences for things that I like?
Absolutely, yeah. We have BOGOs, happy hours,
awesome.
Half price wine nights. We know that can actually get a little bit, fun too. So we've got it all. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. We'll definitely put out to everybody to how to download the app and where to find you.
Awesome.
And we will keep watching and keep looking for more deals.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, that is the end of this week's episode, and we definitely have some amazing things happening in the Forest City. Thank you for watching and for listening. Please support the efforts of our guests by liking, commenting, and sharing this episode of What's Up London with your friends, family, and networks. Please visit our guests' websites and social media pages and plan to support their efforts. I will see you again next week, so until next time, stay safe, be kind, have a great day.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I've been volunteering for almost a year now. I like volunteering at Rogers because I like working with cameras and just making sure I get the perfect shot and learning more about photography and the aspect on how you film games. Well, some of the best parts about volunteering with Rogers is just learning, getting to meet new people while you're doing it, and just being behind the camera and learning more as you go.